Hey everyone, it's nice to have you guys back on my channel Nityashree's Bio. Today we are into last topic of population interaction as well as organisms and populations, that is commensalism and ammensalism. Let us know what is commensalism. Commensalism is an interaction, a positive interaction in which one organism is benefited whereas the other organism remains unaffected. Unaffected in the sense it is neither being benefited nor being harmed by the other species. Let us better understand this using few examples. First example is cattle egret and grazing cattle. This is the chief example of commensalism. When the cattle is grazing through the field, it stirs up all the plants and the small insects which are present on or attached on those plants will get excited and flies up, which will be caught by these egrets. Here egret is being benefited whereas cattle remains unaffected. The second example that we have is barnacles and whales. Barnacle attach on the whales and move along with them. They prefer plankton as their food. So when they move along with the whale, they go to the new areas and feed on the plankton. Here barnacles are using whales just for the transportation purpose. So this is not going to harm whales in any way. So whales remain unaffected. The next example that we have is hermit crab and snails. Snails live in the bottom of the sea or ocean. So after they are dead, these crabs are going to go and occupy those empty shells for their protection. The next example we have is tree frogs and plants. Tree frogs are usually green in color and they can blend very well in the environment which is green in color. So they use plants for not being detected by their enemies easily. The next example that we have is orchid growing as an epiphyte on the mango branch. Here orchid is using the mango branch just for climbing and support so that it can photosynthesize. Orchid is not going to harm mango branch in any way. So orchid is being benefited and mango branch is remaining unaffected. Last example that we would use to understand commensalism is clownfish living among the stinging tentacles of sea anemone. Stinging tentacles are poisonous in nature and they can keep the predators or enemies away from the sea anemone. So when clownfish lives amongst these stinging tentacles, they can be well protected. The last interaction that we would be studying in population interactions is ammensalism. Ammensalism is where one organism is harmed in the presence of other, which means the other organism need not even interact with this organism. Just if it is present there, this organism is being affected or harmed. Example for this is bacterium or bacterial colony which cannot grow in the presence of a mold or a fungus, penicillium. Penicillium produces an antibiotic called as penicillin. The one which is harmed is bacteria, whereas the one which remains unaffected is penicillium. Penicillium's intention is not to harm the bacteria, whereas bacteria will definitely die in the presence of penicillium as it produces an antibiotic. One more example to understand this is a black walnut tree which produces a compound called as juglone. Juglone is toxic to humans as well as the other plants and weeds. With this we are concluding population interactions and we are also ending organisms and populations chapter. In case of doubts, please don't hesitate to comment. If you really like my teaching, please support me in all possible ways. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.